We certainly hope this heat wave all ends well with a monsoon that we can delight ourselves in. Because going by the Indian Meteorological Department and its predictions, this year we're going to have above normal monsoon. And rainfall between June and September is expected to be normal or above normal, but at least in June it's expected to be normal as per the IMD. Most parts of India, it says, will see above normal maximum temperatures as well in the hot and humid month of June. So we're not out of the heat wave as such, but let's speak to our guests and find out where exactly the heat wave ends and the monsoons begin to really get us the respite that we need. Dr. D. Sivananda Pai is the head of climate research and services at IMD in New Delhi, and joining him is Mr. GP Sharma, the president at Skymet. Gentlemen, thank you indeed. It is something that we look forward to every year, respite from the heat, but the heat wave seems to get worse. Dr. Pai, when the IMD says the monsoon this year is going to be above normal, help us understand this better. Will it be evenly spread across the country? And how will the biggest agricultural pockets of our country receive rainfall this year?
Hi, Vikram. See, as far as the updated forecast issued today, all India rainfall is expected to be under 6% of plus or minus 4% of model error. And we are expecting that normal to above normal rainfall to happen over most parts of the country, except some parts of northernmost parts of the country and eastern part and northeastern areas, where in many areas below normal rainfall is expected. So overall, we are expecting that particularly the rain-fed areas of what we call monsoon core zone of the central India, we are expecting rainfall to be above normal, and northwest India to be normal. Both the central India along with the peninsula, it will be above normal. Only the northeast India, we are expecting that to be below normal. So overall rainfall to be above normal.
Across to Mr. Sharma as well. Mr. Sharma, does this match your estimates as well when it comes to the monsoons this year?
Yes, Vikram, Skymet was the first one to issue the preliminary forecast that was in January itself, middle of Jan, and we said the rainfall is going to be normal because last year obviously it was below normal and still the memories are fresh of a little not so good monsoon. But then this year we did say that it's going to be normal and we retained that forecast once we made it in April, 11th of April, we issued the forecast, comprehensive forecast, and we say that monsoon is going to be normal. And since the normal has got a bracket of almost about 8% from 96 to 104%, and we have given 102%, which is decent normal. Okay. 102% is as good as I will say even it is higher side of the normal bracket. Okay, and the distribution which you talked about just now, I think Skymet had given almost similar distribution. Okay, there is hardly any change. A slight change can always be there. But then broadly, it was the same thing. Okay, we had given some less rains in the northeast and some eastern parts of India, and similarly, extreme northern parts of the country. We had given a little less rainfall than the normal. Good rainfall we had given in the core monsoon zone as South Peninsula. So it's almost similar.
So okay. Both agencies seem to be on the same page when it comes to the monsoon forecast. Dr. Pai, we've had a long heat wave. And that has had a crippling effect all over the country, the El Nino effect, which is generally spoken of when the monsoon is weak, drier conditions prolong. We have those El Nino conditions in play right now. But how and well do you expect it to flip into La Nina and get us a break with plentiful monsoon that we're talking about today?
Yeah, as you correctly said, the heat waves that we are experiencing now, almost since the last 10 days or so, particularly over northwest India, which can be attributed to declining El Nino, which peaked in the early part of, late part of December and early part of January this year. Now it has already weakened and currently it is almost close to ENSO neutral conditions. Though, most of the atmospheric and the other patterns are indicating it has become ENSO neutral condition. And we are expecting by within, 1 month or so, it will be declared as a ENSO neutral condition, and then it is likely to shift into La Nina condition in the middle of the monsoon season or later part of the monsoon season. So that's why, when the weather pattern or rainfall patterns, which we had said, that over most of the parts above normal rainfall and below normal rainfall northeast, it
Right.
is attributed to La Nina. It is
The
a
La Nina, yes, and that's going to get
yeah.
us the plentiful monsoons, the above normal monsoons. But when you look at the kind of expectations around the monsoons, we see our most dependable reservoirs dry up just before the monsoons arrive, Mr. Sharma. How is that situation this time?
See, the conditions have varied this time. We had uh, to start with drier pre-monsoon season for most part of the country. We didn't have much rainfall in southern India, central India also. Actually, it was all the reservoirs which we're talking about in southern India, they had the 10-year low in the capacity. As compared to last year also, and for the last 10 years also, you see that average level that was far lower than what it was. So it was definitely a worrying point from the reservation, from the point of view, reservoirs point of view. The the, the thing is, there are some states, particularly North India, Punjab, Haryana, adjoining parts, they are very good in resources, irrespective of the storage, though it is not very good even on those parts, but better than what it was over the central parts and the southern parts of the country. Okay. And pre-monsoon activity has started late. You remember there was news in Bangalore. News was there that no rain,
Yes,
almost a drought condition.
yes,
So it started late. Pre-monsoon activity has started late, but it has picked up well now.
yes,
Okay, it always happens. It
yes.
always happens.
But we've
And
had a cyclone, Mr. Sharma. We've had Cyclone Rimal. It has hit the Bay of Bengal just before the monsoons. Is that going to help, or is it going to negatively impact the progress of the monsoon this year?
This question is very tricky. Okay, but then these systems which they form, whether in the Arabian Sea or Bay of Bengal, they are the monsoon drivers also, and they are the monsoon spoilers also. It all depends. When do they form? Where do they go? What is the track? What are the timings? I will say that this particular system, which has gone to Bangladesh now and it will move over to Northeast India, uh, I don't see very good signs for the monsoon to start with now. We had predicted that it should be on the normal date. IMD also said about 31st of May. We said about 1st of June or so. But then, if at all it starts, I see it happening as a soft start. Okay, it has changed the wind pattern. It is so both over the Arabian Sea, though the Bay of Bengal current is there, but the Arabian Sea side, I don't find very exceptionally good signs coming up. No, rather another 3, 4, 5 days or so, there could be some small circulation forming, which I don't take it as a very good sign for the monsoon to start with. But then it can always pick up. We remember last year, monsoon started off late, 8th of June.
It
After
did
that,
start
it
late.
stalled.
Yes,
After that, it stalled for almost about 10 days.
true.
So it happened. But then this time, since we expect a good monsoon,
Yes,
and we always say that well begun is half done. So if it is, if it starts good, it's a morale boosting.
it certainly is.
It's a sowing period,
Yes,
very crucial period for
yes,
the agriculture.
true.
So if it delays or if it is not adequate, not sufficient, it becomes anxious moments. Yeah.
It does get very anxious. I'm definitely looking at the heat wave conditions, looking at the possibility of our farm output, and that's suffering because the monsoon doesn't arrive on time. So in fact, talking of which, Dr. Pai, how do you expect farm output to pan out this year? If we have a favorable monsoon season between June and September, which are the crops you reckon are going to benefit the most and hopefully benefit the people with lower prices when the output is good? That's what happens too, right?
Yeah, in fact, based on above normal rainfall, I think crop production should be good. But what type of crops to be chosen and what should be benefited and all will be decided by agriculture specialists. I don't have an expertise on talking on that, but I feel that since the rainfall will be over most parts, particularly southern peninsula, where there was a lot of deficiency of rainfall last year, and also because of delayed pre-monsoon showers this year, that will benefit because of above normal rainfall. The same is the case with central India. Only I hope that because of sometime a heavy rainfall that don't disrupt crops. But otherwise, I hope this year the crop production should be good with expected rainfall. Good.
Absolutely. That is going to be the expectation. With a good monsoon, we expect good agricultural output as well. And yes, any lull has an impact. Any overly heavy rains also have their impact on the kind of farm output, and we hope that it all turns out well eventually. It's always great getting your perspectives. The top climatologists of the country joining us on ET Now. Great to have you with us, gentlemen. Dr. Pai, Mr. Sharma, thank you indeed for joining us on this edition of India Tonight.